Lunch Tray here with a video in this season's Ranked and Sleeping Giant Arms Race in the Gearing Tier 10 Destroyer, as this ranked season is Tier 10. So, let's get started.
Battle starts.
Alright, so first thing I always check, because I've talked with you guys in the past, is seeing what ships are we up against. So we can see that there's no aircraft carriers. That's nice, but I still have my I still shut my airplane off, or my AA off, not my airplane. Shut my AA off just in case a ship spots or launches a spotter plane, so I don't have to worry about being detected if they're trying to catch me behind an island or something. And then radar, so you can see that it's just the Des Moines. So that will me and him have a run-in, so we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, seeing another gearing is at 52, so I need to be conscious of Hydro. And then Holland with his fast torpedoes. And then also seeing what we have, so we actually have 2 radars on our team, which is quite nice. So, pushing up here. And moving up here, I don't want to sit in the middle of this. If the Holland is already charging down this way, he's just going to be able to, his torps are going to come so fast, like his are already reloaded, mine are not yet, have a 92-second reload time. So I'm just going to come right into here and sit. And I originally thought about pushing up, but we can see that the Shimakaze player, he's already pushing up, so there's no need for me to push up. Now I already see the Holland has appeared. So he seems to be pushing right on up.
All stations, protect that target.
So I'm calling out, hey, let's support him. And then that's when the Z-52 pops up. So both of their destroyers are pushing, their gearing's over here. So I'm a little taken aback that both of the destroyers are pushing this hard so fast, as I tell the Shimakaze player to get back. Once I've secured the buff, just go ahead and start opening up. Shima's popping smoke, which is good. The Holland still might have a side view of him, but his Hydro might be popped as well, I'm going to assume. So he's gone. So our Shimakaze's player is doing okay, and then it's like, oh, make sure don't hit any torpedoes, and then let's work on this Holland, because he's still taking a hard time, and I should have popped smoke for him a little bit sooner there, for the Shima player. It's because I didn't want to be caught with focusing on the Holland, since I'm now the closest ship to the enemy team. So we're going to take care of that.
Enemy destroyer.
And I know the gearing's over here, the Hindenburg's here, so maybe I have to watch torpedoes, but that might have been I'm not sure if that was the torpedoes we saw earlier were from the Hindenburg or the Z-52. So I'm going to sneak up, and I'm going to actually go ahead and decide that I'm going to go into this cap. So I go ahead and pop my engine boost so I can get in, get out as soon as possible, since they know once that buff has disappeared that it's likely that the Shima or myself are now here. And I go ahead and dump torps. Maybe this Kremlin's going to push up. And then my goal now is, I'm wondering, where is this Des Moines? He's not been spotted for a little bit. Is he turn around, go do this, or is he coming down over here? So now I'm just going to assume he's come down this way, and of course getting intelligence data. So if he pops his radar and they start shooting in here, that's going to put me in trouble and danger. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go for this island. Like, I'm thinking I'm going to stop right in here. But honestly, like, I want to get out, and that's when I get hydroed. So it's not safe for me to just turn around and run out. So now I'm wondering, what direction am I being radared from? And that's when I see a shot get fired there. And so now I'm going to assume he's just right over there. So we get a torpedo hit and flooding on the Kremlin. And now the Des Moines is here, and he tries to shoot me, but not going to happen. Just not at a good angle to fire torpedoes, but I still have 25 seconds before they reload. So now I'm in the.
All stations.
Now he's popped
prepare
hydro.
for position of a
He's
strategic
good.
target.
So now I need to figure out. Oh, and I have a Gearing pushing from the side. But so I need to figure out, is the Des Moines, is he going to come this way or is he going to come this way? But now I need to focus on trying to back up so the enemy Gearing doesn't have as good an angle on me because he's going to start farming me, which isn't good because my smoke's on cooldown, but I'm hydro, so it doesn't matter. And then that's when this Shimakaze lands the lucky torp.
I need intelligence data.
So I'm asking for intelligence data. I can't just run out because
Engine
the
boost
Hindenburg
deactivated.
is pushing out, so... And then that's when he appears. Right as I'm backing up, so it's going to take me a minute to push forward. So I really want to get turned as soon as I can. Oh, 100 HP. Oof. And this whole time, and now, with the buffs, the healing is happening, but I'm worried that is someone going to just shoot from this direction? The Hindenburg, I think he
Smoke
could get me.
generator started.
But I go ahead and pop smoke because I know his hydro has to be about coming on down, and then that's when I see that two of the torpedoes hit him and cause flooding. And it looks like he's used his damage repair.
Our team has taken the lead.
So now I don't know if that Kremlin is still up here. Has he also come down around? So I don't have a lot of intelligence to work off of right now.
Smoke screen set.
Yeah. Now in hindsight, and I didn't do this soon enough, but when I was backing out because I decide pretty timely that I'm like, alright, I just want to get out of here. It's not safe for me to be here anymore because he's going to have another radar. I can use this smoke to help cover the rear of the ship, and that's why I backed up as far as I did. And then that's when I get radared. I didn't expect my life to end here, and there's the Kremlin. Look at that. So I figured I'm going to get 2 shots off there, and there we go. Let's see if I can actually take control of the camera here or not. No, it's not like I'm going to be able to. So, I mean, we did 53,000 damage. We secured 3 heals, which is good because I always try to focus on that as a destroyer player. Help take out 2 of their enemy destroyers at the beginning of the game. So, given the circumstances, I did all I could. I guess I didn't necessarily expect the Des Moines to just push in like that. Because I could have just ran out and left, but it is what it is. So I think we'll get ready to wrap this battle up, and then I want to take you into another one as we'll win this game. They have no enemy destroyers left, which works in our advantage, and we secured, 3 of the drops. Yeah, so we have 3 working on this Conqueror, and then we have these 2 down here. And I typed in chat, trying to tell the Rooster a little bit ago, just telling him to get out of there, because the Kremlin's going to be focused on him, and of course he is. He's still firing at him, because the Rooster just needs to relocate, because his armor is not going to hide well, so he's actually going to come back around over here and just keep HE spamming. And so I'm encouraging him to go dark and just get out of there. He's got 2 fires lit on the Kremlin. Our Curve First is so far staying nose angled in, which is really good. They've taken care of the Conqueror. I guess I'll talk a little bit more, just for the flow of the battle, and maybe help give you guys some more helpful advice. Now the Des Moines is pushing out against our Moskva. I'm not sure how smart the Des Moines player was to just... Yeah, he's slowing, looks like he's backing up now. So it's not good for him to stay here. So he's doing good, he's already got high caliber. And so now, hopefully these guys are focusing fire over here in Des Moines. So whether you're playing destroyer, you're playing cruiser battleship, when you see a one-on-one like this, it's always great to help your ally. As you can see, the Hindenburg, you can see some shots were coming in on the Moskva, and so he just disengages. And then he comes back around, 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 and then he comes back aro there's no need for him to just rush in there on the Des Moines with the DPM that the Des Moines can pump out, and with him just pushed off, it's not, you know, all his allies can just be pumping in shots into him. So Rooster is still laying it on, great. Des Moines goes dark, or dies permanently dark in this match. And then our Ghost Griffers is getting a little anxious. He's showing broadside, which is okay. I mean, the Kremlin's not focusing fire, so that's kind of interesting. I mean, his immediate threat was always the Ghost Griffers, but you know, he's trying to get shots on the Rooster, he's trying to get shots on the Moskva. Like, he just needs to pick a target. But he's probably just going for as much damage as he can. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt with that. So encourage the team, did a pretty good job. And you can see most of the health pool is intact between these three, so that's good. And now it's just the Hindenburg he's going to be leaving, so yeah, so we'll stop there and then we'll go to the post-battle results. So going into the post-battle results, we can see we did 53,000 damage, 3 torpedo hits, 2 destroyed with 2 floodings, with 9,000 experience and almost 1,500 free XP with First Blood. And this was my first, I think, battle in the gearing for the day because of the 200% bonus that you get for your first victory. So you can see we placed 3rd on the team, which isn't too bad considering that I died maybe a little under halfway into the game. And then the Holland of Thunder did really good. So yeah, so there's a damage. So I was glad to get those 2 torpedo hits on the Des Moines before going down. And then 10,000 on the Hindenburg. You know what? That torpedo I fired that set at the Kremlin is actually the Hindenburg who ate the torpedo, not the Kremlin. Huh. Good to know. And 138,000 in credits with premium accounts. So let's jump into the next match. So here we are, back in the gearing on Warrior's Path. So again, already looking at the layout here. So again, no CV, but we have 3 radars to our 2 radars with, what is it? Gearing and Shima, and then Gearing and Rugumo on their team. So again, I'm looking at the map, seeing where am I starting off at. There's only 2 destroyers, so I'm going to go ahead and decide that I'm going to move to this side, seeing the layout of my team behind me who's likely to follow. And so I'm going to go for this heel. With 3 radars, I'm not even going to consider going anywhere in the center of the map. Especially with 2 of them. Petro, yeah, they have the 12-kilometer range, so no, I'm going to just take my time. One of a very big factor when it comes to, I mean, most any of the battles, but especially when you don't have carriers on the team, but a big factor, especially for ranked, is the longer you live as a destroyer, the greater chances you have of causing a win at the end of the game, because your concealment is going to always be the cruisers, it's going to be the battleships. Granted, that does become a little harder with some cruisers, and I guess like something like the Missouri, if you have the radar, or just radar from a destroyer, which if you try to smoke, then that's not going to work. But in general, when you're a destroyer and you live longest in the game, it really helps your team, because if you die and the enemy team say that they have both of their destroyers still, then that really puts your cruisers, puts your battleships at a disadvantage, and they're going to play more cautiously. Well, some do, some don't. I watched, or after I died in one of the battles, I watched one of my teammates in a battleship just sailing straight for like a minute and a half, and he just completely ate a bunch of torpedoes and died because he wasn't changing his course. He wasn't paying attention that, oh, there's a destroyer over there, maybe I should be maneuvering. So I tell my team in the chat my goal is to play passively. Now that I've got this buff seized, I'm going to play passively until we know where those radars are, because there's no point for me to come flying around this corner right into 2 or 3 radars, right? Especially when there's the 12-kilometer range. So if we look at the mini map, I'm just going to kind of circle out and around because I want to see what is around this corner, as well as knowing, that there very well could be the gearing or the Ugamo could also be pushing around this corner. So I'm going to dump one set, and our silent guy just popped his radar. No ship spotted, so it seems like their destroyers are playing passively for the moment as well. I'm not going to fall into temptation for going for the reload time buff. So there's the gearing. So I waited to shoot both sets. I wanted to just sequence them off. I tend to do that a lot. Depending on the situation, I will or will not. But when I came over here a little bit farther, I have a better angle of getting into there versus it just going straight out this way. So I'm not expecting to hit anything, but with the reload, it's always helpful. And I think I now have the torpedo reload expertise skill. It's like the 3-point skill, so it's down to 92 seconds. I think that's where I have it at now. I might not have had it yet for this battle because I just re-equipped my captain this past weekend. So I'm paying attention to the map. I see there's a Petro there, there's a Des Moines here. So I'm assuming maybe the other Petro is up over here. So now that I know I'm in, yeah, there he just pops up. So I'm just going to push up behind this island, so if he does pop his radar, not going to be able to see me. Now I don't expect them to just push on up. As you can see, it's already slowing down. I'm expecting them both to just sit right in here, and I already have this angle. Yeah, 92 seconds. So I'm just going to throw torpedoes down this way. So he's still not used his radar, so that means I'm just going to back up, and I'm going to dump another 7 torpedoes in here. Now we saw that the gearing just spawned here. I told him, the Ghost of Curfers player, to get back because the gearing's probably just dumped a bunch of torpedoes down the channel. I'm outside range, so I don't need to worry. Well, unless he has the 16.5-kilometer torpedoes, but I doubt that. So the first set's looking good, and if my torpedo tubes were loaded at the same time, I would have dumped both sets because I knew this was a time-sensitive thing because they're probably both just going to start backing up. So I don't start shooting. I don't want to give it away if there's torpedoes on their way, but now I'm going to start opening fire, and we're just going to farm this Ghost of Curfers. So we caused 2 floodings, 3 torpedo hits, and incapacitation, which I'm not really sure what that one was. It's healed. There's no flooding happening, so now it's my job to set fires. The Petro is still not popping his radar. I mean, they know I'm over here, but I'm going to take advantage. This is my 3-point. What is it? Yeah, 2.4 second reload, and just farm this Ghost of Curfers. So then that helps my team just to be able to keep pushing around. So I set a fire on his superstructure. Now my goal is I'm trying to set a fire on his front deck. And then now I'm going to try to set a fire on the rear of his ship, if possible. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. If you're just trying to HE farm the battleship especially, don't just keep focusing on the superstructure, because it's likely that maybe he has fire prevention. So if it's only one fire on the superstructure, which looks like it's the case, we've got the 3rd fire set now, and we're just racking up the damage. And so I'm just trying to focus on the superstructure for now, where I can most likely get more damage with the HE penetrations, as we see that fire went out. The Thunder is being a bit bold, and we finished him off with 93,296 damage. Now it's just to one ship.
Engine boost activated.
Sometimes it's great. So we just lost our Stalingrad to the Petro, so this flank has completely folded in the meantime of working these guys over. So I tell my team that, hey, I'm going to go for healing the channel. There's really no sense for the Puerto Rico to go down the channel. Like, if he has other plans, I don't want him to have to worry about going down the channel, because they have no destroyers left. Otherwise, I'd be very self-conscious about going into the channel, because I know it'd be very easy for them to throw a bunch of torpedoes down the channel. But my goal is I'm just going to swing in, I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to leave, because of the 2 radars. I want to be able to get out as soon as possible and have enough turning radius where it's much easier to get out versus being in the channel, back in, pull forward, back up, and then leave. Like, I just want to get out. So kind of like I said before, I really try to make hills priority given the situation. And our Kremlin just took out their enemy Petro, so now I only have 1 radar to worry about.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
Or, wait, did I get that backwards? Yeah, we lost our Petro. So they still have the Des Moines and the Petro in the center. So I slowed down, we've seized the buff. I'm seeing, is it good for me to dump any torpedoes while I'm here? Yes, let's dump 1 there, let's dump 1 back over there. Making sure I'm still going slow enough where I'm not going to hit the corner of the island here, so I think I slow down even more. Yeah, and then I'm going to accelerate out.
Reporting the target position.
Now I've decided, okay, I've got
Engine boost deactivated.
3 allies over there. Yeah, so there's no point for me to just follow them down around this way. It's better for me if I go around this way, and then I'll hook in, and I can help give the Hindenburg some support, because I'm sure they're giving him some pressure. Because I can't see, he's just outside my range, I can't see how his health pool is doing. So I tell my team repositioning, so it's going to take me a minute. If any of them have spotted my torpedoes, they know, oh, there's a destroyer in this channel. That's what they're thinking. So whether or not they think I'm still there, that's what I want them to believe. So I'm going to try to get around up here as soon as possible. So I pop my torpedoes, even though they're not reloaded. I just want to see what direction are they going through. So I still feel pretty confident, even though we're 80 points behind. Just play smart and safe, and we've got this. Now I see the Thunder, looks like he's going to start backing up. So there's no sense for me to fire a set of torpedoes. So our team's already contesting the cap down here. So my thinking is, if the Des Moines does pop radar again, where he's a little, actually he's too far outside of range, and so is the Petro. So I'm going to come over here. Now, if you're a radar destroyer, don't just abandon your team. Like, I get that they probably want to get out there and get some cover, but they could do that just, through here. But you've just taken your radar completely out of being any help to your team, since there's still me as a destroyer on the team. So keep that in mind. So I'm watching my range here. I did dump a set of torpedoes, and so I kind of tell my team, torps inbound, stay back. I don't want one of my allied battleships just yellow out and eat a full set, so you can see he's slowed down. But I kind of shot them further behind because I didn't want to accidentally hit one of my allies, and there's a Kremlin. So now my goal is to, I see Des Moines pushing up. I want to back up and dump a set on this Thunderer. But I'm not sure if he's still going to be alive by the time that comes to pass. So just use off Thunderer, they lose their Des Moines. I know with Thunderer's heal, he can heal back his damage pretty good. But I'm probably just assuming this is the buff, heal buff he's using right now. Still keep in mind the detectability range, I'm just staying outside of it. I have my engine boost so I can accelerate a little further backwards. It would have been better if I was still facing forward, so I could just easily just pull right out, dumped a set, backed up. So I'm pretty confident with these torpedoes that he's just going to keep backing up. I might dump the other set just short in case he decides to stop backing up, but he's almost dead, so. But I had no other use for the torpedoes because I don't want to save a set, because I'm not going to dump a set of torpedoes when I have 3 allies around this gross occur first. So is that going to be enough? Will my torpedoes make it there in time before he dies? Oh, he's clinging. Oh, no. So we take their Thunder, they took our Puerto Rico, and now I'm going to start dumping HE on this gross occur first. So keep in mind, it's been a while since we've done any damage, and it's just been only to both the gross occur first. Petro's too far away, so he's just going to be running. So now my goal is, while I'm getting up closer to this gross occur first, I'm going to seize this buff. And I'm going to try to keep a little bit of this island between me and him. I'm not worried about him starting to shoot at me. He's got bigger issues than me. So I'm not gonna use the smoke either. I just don't feel the need to. We haven't taken any damage so far this game, which is funny. So I decided I'm not gonna shoot this set of torpedoes because he's almost dead. Just keep focusing on the HE spam. And I see my gross occur first as he's turning in, so I really didn't want to accidentally torpedo him. So we get rid of him, and we're capturing the area with 47 seconds left on the clock. So we're going to seize this buff. And now my goal is, okay, I'm still too far away from the Petro. Just to help with the team, we can wrap this up, and it helps my experience of the game, as I'm just going to focus on keep seizing buffs for right now. So I go up this way, I'm paying attention. Is the Hindenburg going to come into the buff? Or am I going to need to go up here and grab it? So Gross Griffers just grabbed one. Yeah, Petro still was at half health. Yeah, Hindenburg's not going to grab this buff, so I'm just going to grab it. And that's one thing, like, when you play World of Warships, I think too many players get focused on damage. And damage does help your base experience and how much credits and yada yada yada, how much you're going to get. But your experience is a significant part of that. Like I've been on divisions and teams where they're like, oh, you killed less ships than me, but how did you get more base experience than me? Or and then like I'll tell them how much damage I did, and like they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Like you also have to keep in mind that you're playing for cap control. You know, this they're getting your ribbons, like spotting, ranked. With this arms race, like it's seizing the buffs. There's a assisted capture. We've set 4 fires. So those are just really things to keep in mind when you're playing World of Warships. It's not always just about damage, but the experience of what else are you contributing to the battle beyond just damage. So I'll go ahead and pop engine boost. I want to run down and grab this last buff, hopefully before he dies. And he's just outside my range, so main battery range, so I can't shoot him just yet. Yeah, and that's game. So we ended that with reaching rank 11. I think I started at like rank 12 or 13, something like that. I lost the first few, went backwards and then going forwards again. So we did 107,000 damage, almost 150 shell hits, 3 torpedo hits, 4 set-on fires, 2 cause floodings, assisted capture, and we seized 5 buffs. See that. So what did that put us on the team? So we put us on 4th place in the team with 1,610 base experience. and you can just see the damage here, farming that gross occur first, and then getting some HE spamming on the other gross occur first right at the end there. So then I was looking at the damage, just trying to see the layout between fires and torpedoes and flooding and stuff. So with the main battery, we only did 27,000 damage, where we did 39,000 damage with torpedoes, and then we did 38,000 with fires and 2,000 with flooding. And then with premium count, we ended with 43,340 credits. So my only options in playing tier 10 right now for ranked is either the Gearing or the Rooster. And now actually, I think as I'm recording this, it's on the Sunday. But I'll either be getting the Gross Curfer or Gross Curfers, the Montana, either today or tomorrow, as I spent a lot of time with the Iowa this weekend. So pretty close to getting her between credits and experience. But overall, I like gearing for ranked. Flamu has a tier 10 recommendations out for this ranked season. Gearing is pretty competitive. I mean, Summers is nice too because you get those extra torpedoes. But with Concealment Expert, your base fire training, gun modification 3, and having that 2.4 second reload time, as well as the torpedoes reloading at 92 seconds, it really helps the gearing to be gives it a little additional edge versus being stock. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Leave a like if you have questions, comments, and we'll catch you later. So take care.